guys, how's it going? My name is CJ. I hope you guys are having a great day. Some of you guys have been requesting it, so I thought I would do a quick video to talk about what's on my iPad. Now, admittedly, I haven't really been using the iPad in the last couple of years as anything more than just a consumption device, so surfing the internet every now and then, checking some emails, and looking at YouTube or Netflix when I want to chill out. Over the next couple months, I'm going to be trying to use the iPad Pro as an alternative to a laptop to try to get things done. To start off with, we're going to do a quick video to show you what exactly is on my iPad right now. So let's take a look. Alright, now to start off, I've got a pretty basic structure to my home screens. In general, I try to keep it simple by only having two screens full of apps. And the first screen is usually the apps that I use most of the time, including the dock. I think with iOS devices, people can often get quite carried away with downloading apps and end up with 5, 6, 7 or even 8 pages full of apps. That's why I tend to like to simplify it and keep it down to just 2 pages and then just try to categorize where they should be, and that way you can organize your apps a little bit better and it's a little bit cleaner. So to start off with the first page, where it's usually the apps that I use the most, we've got ourselves the Messages app, which is the app that you can keep an eye on all your iMessages. So next we've got our Calendar app, which is pretty basic, tells you everything that's happening, and I find some people like to use the Google Calendar app, but I find the stock Calendar app perfectly fine for my usage. Next one's Photos. It's pretty self-explanatory. It keeps an eye on all your different photos that you take. You can check out your photo stream, see all the photos throughout time, and if you've got iCloud Library, then you can see all your photos dating all the way back to whenever you first got iCloud iPhotos. And then we've got our navigation. So Apple Maps has really improved over the last few years, but my go-to is still Google Maps, and it's always nice to have, you know, when you want to plan where you want to go, it's always good to have this application, see, you know, how far away something is and what the traffic is like before you leave home. So I find that really useful. And then the next one is our Notes app, which is again pretty basic. And then there's Ibooks. Most people tend to delete this app, but I keep the Ibooks because I find it to be a fairly smooth and clean way of saving PDFs and reading ebooks. And then of course we've got our YouTube Studio app to keep an eye on what's going on with the channel. I also use the Facebook Messenger app to keep an eye on all my different chats between my mates. Surprisingly, Facebook Messenger tends to be my primary mode of communication between my friends. Then I've got Apple Music, which is my music streaming application of choice, purely because I'm with Telstra and you actually get data-free streaming with Apple Music if you're on this particular network. Then we've got our Finance app. Obviously pretty self-explanatory, pretty important to keep an eye on all your expenses and what you're spending money on. In my case, it's probably spending too much money on tech and gadgets. So then moving on to the second page, this is pretty much where all the remainder of the apps are spread out. So to be honest, I tend not to use almost 50 to 60% of the apps that I've got in here. It's more I keep them there just in case, in the off chance I need to use them. So an example of this is seeing all these Apple inbuilt stock apps. I probably could just delete all of them, but you know, you never know when you might need to use them, like iCloud Drive, you know, Apple Home, maybe working with some spreadsheets every now and then. It's always nice to have them ready when you need to use them, but you can just tuck them away in a folder and you don't really have to think about it. Then we've got our games folder. I tend not to do that much gaming on my iPad, but for when I do want to do any gaming, I've got Grand Theft Auto 3 on there that'll fill in the time, and then I've also got Modern Combat 5 and Galaxy on Fire, just because they're both really beautiful, graphically intensive games that I can really showcase the power of the iPad. I should just delete that now. The next one that I probably use the most is going to be these creativity apps. So in my free time, I do like to do a bit of drawing, a bit of painting, and Procreate tends to be probably my favorite when it comes to doing art on the iPad just because it's so responsive, it's really flexible, and it's got really great Apple Pencil integration. The next one that I like to use is the Paper app. While this is probably more of a note-taking and ideas jotting down kind of app, it is really simple, and it's probably nailed the simplistic UI design. So really simple interface, really nice color palette, really simple and easy to use interface. Highly recommended. We've got our Google apps because I do switch between iOS and Android. Then we've got our productivity apps, which I am actually using quite a lot these days. Pages just for word processing, and it's probably as equivalent as you could probably ask for compared to the Mac version. And then the next most useful one is Notability, and this is probably one of the best apps for students who own iPads. So it's an app that you can use to jot down notes. It's got really good Apple Pencil integration, and you can also type various notes physically on there. And one of the most underrated features of this particular app, if you're a student, is that there's actually a microphone icon where you can use to record lectures. So it's a really nice, flexible app that you can even import PDFs and annotate them as you're studying. Then we've got a couple of other PDF document viewers, and this one's good for Adobe Fill and Sign, that one's good for filling out various contracts, various forms, and it'll help detect various checkboxes, and then you can pop in your signature where you need. And then we've got our benchmarking apps. So I'm not a big fan of using benchmarks as a way to judge performance because I think real life use and benchmarking tend not to go hand in hand most of the time, or can a lot of the time be quite misleading. But in any case, when you're looking at this many gadgets, people do like seeing the numbers, and that's why I've got these apps. But in any case, we've got our Lightroom app and Affinity Photo. So Lightroom is excellent in that it's pretty much equivalent to your desktop version of Lightroom, and if you've got a Creative Cloud subscription, you can actually sync your photos between devices and pick up editing from where you left off from your PC. Additionally, you can actually load raw photos onto your iPad and edit directly from your iPad as well, so you don't have to import it to your computer and then transfer it over. If you've got the right cables and the right SD card reader, you could plug it straight into the Lightning port here, import it straight into the Photos app, and then take it from the Photos app and edit directly on your iPad. And as with the version on the PC, you still have just as much flexibility when it comes to editing RAW. That being said, if you are editing RAW photos on this iPad, do be aware that it does also chew up a bit of battery as well, because you are flexing the CPU and the GPU performance. Then finally, you've got Affinity Photo. So the main reason why anyone would probably consider using Affinity Photo is if they were looking for a Photoshop alternative on the iPad. Adobe hasn't ported a full-fledged version of their Photoshop onto an iPad, but this app is pretty much a Photoshop app. You can create photos, you can paint, you've got the same sort of interface as Photoshop, and it's actually not that expensive as well. Right now there's a sale going on for about $30, and when you're comparing Photoshop to this and the amount of features that Affinity Photo has compared to Photoshop, it's actually not a bad buy. So I'd highly recommend it. And finally, we've got just some random apps that don't have their own folders. So Kitchen Stories, I do like to cook every now and then, and that provides fairly easy to follow, simple recipes. This one's probably also one of my favorite apps, Footy Light. I'm a big fan of football or soccer, and if you want to follow all your team highlights, this is one of the best apps to follow. You can get really high quality full match highlights, and if you really wanted to, you could even watch full match replays as well, and it keeps up to date regardless of league, country, wherever you are. It even has full match highlights for under 20 youth leagues. This app has it all if you're a football fan. Highly recommended. So then we've got an entertainment folder, which includes all our free-to-air TV apps. Netflix is probably my most used one just because that's where I watch all my TV shows. And then we've got Anime Lab for Dragon Ball Super. So then we've finally got our dock, which is probably where 70% of the apps that I actually usually use from a day-to-day basis. So we've got Facebook, which is pretty self-explanatory. Email, I just use the normal client because that just does the job for me. And then we've got Tweetbot, which is still probably my favorite Twitter client of all time. It's really simple, really quick, And unlike the official Twitter app, it still chronicles tweets in a chronological timeline so that it doesn't jump to and forth and you don't miss things. And overall, it's just a really clean, useful, really nice app, really well designed. We've got YouTube app, Safari, and then Chrome as well. So I've got both, mainly because my partner uses it. She would rather use Chrome than Safari, just because that's what she's used to. But then, as we know, with all iOS devices, using the Safari app tends to get the best web browsing performance compared to any other browser. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. Hope this video, guys, has helped in some way in showing how I'm going to try to be a little bit more productive on my iPad Pro. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What's your favorite app? What do you recommend? Let me know down there. As always, if you like this video, be sure to smash the like button, and if you haven't already, do consider subscribing. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Say g'day, mum, for me. Cheers.